Good evening, everyone. This is Michael O'Malley here with the Hurricane Outlook and discussion for October 3rd, 2019, recorded around 8:46 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Not a whole lot to talk about today. We do have one tropical disturbance in the Atlantic currently sitting near Belize, just north of Belize here near the Yucatan Peninsula. This only has a 10% chance of development over the next 5 days and is really only going to be a rainfall producer for the northern portions of the Yucatan Peninsula and then also here into southern Mexico and the southern Bay of Campeche region. But other than that, we are not going to really have much in the way of development out here probably for the remainder of the year. It is pretty late to see any real tropical activity here in the main development region. However, that does not mean that we can't get tropical waves that do develop out here somewhere, or especially in this region or somewhere around in here. But for the most part, your Cabo Verde systems, this is the Cabo Verde Islands over here, your Cabo Verde systems are mainly over for this time of year. We really will not see development in this region particularly. Probably, more than likely, this place is going to be shut down at this point in time. And you can sort of see we'll have sort of this green indicator around here. Green means go per se, and this area is all go pretty much for tropical development really through the end of October. And there is some indications that there might be some tropical activity that might start to try to brew up somewhere down in here, but certainly it is a little too far out in time to know right now. Taking a look here at the wide shot infrared loop. This is from tropicaltidbits.com. You can see we have Invest, I believe this is Invest 95E in the Pacific right here. We did have Tropical Storm Nadia that did kind of run through this region earlier throughout the week, or last week rather. And also Lorenzo, which did impact the Azores and eventually moved off and is post-tropical at this point. You can see a couple things here. This is the disturbance right now in the Yucatan Peninsula near the just north of actually Belize, that region over there. Certainly some gusty winds, thunderstorms, certainly even near Cuba, certainly some thunderstorm activity there. You can certainly see something to looks like what a stalling front almost, or some sort of frontal system through roughly this region, something through here, a little bit of convergence through this region, but overall nothing well organized. If you remember a couple days ago, we had a disturbance that was kind of sitting north of here that has sort of moved off and is no longer expected to develop. Again, really just only monitoring this system right now, really over the coming days. I want to take a look at the upper ocean, or the ocean content. This is from the CDAS method sites. There's different methodologies to how these are calculated. This is also from tropicaltidbits.com. And you can certainly see that this area is more than favorable for tropical activity through here in terms of sea surface temperatures. Only a little bit of upwelling, which is usual right around here, just north of the Yucatan Peninsula. That is usual. You get these trade winds that sort of flow off of here, and that causes some upwelling of the waters through this region, but still 27 Celsius, which is roughly what's needed for tropical cyclone development. And certainly here in the southern Bay of Campeche, very warm ocean waters there to kind of work with. And even here in the Caribbean, the Lesser Antilles, and even up through the Bahamas, Florida, and there's the Gulf Stream kind of running somewhat like this right here. That's kind of the Gulf Stream sort of in there. The Gulf Stream actually originates like down in here, and it kind of is a circulating flow pattern. So you can see certainly though we've had a little bit of cooler waters now starting to kind of show up to the north of the Gulf Stream here, just north of Hatteras, Cape Hatteras. We have some cooler temperatures here in the ocean, the sea surface temperatures. So certainly though, not really expecting to see any development really in this region though for this time of year. Usually all the development is going to be kind of confined into this region. Take a look here at the upper ocean heat content map, and you can certainly see that we have a pretty high upper ocean heat content still throughout the remainder of this area, and then even in through the Gulf of Mexico, off the Florida coast, near the Bahamas. There is still a lot of upper ocean heat content to work with, and our tropical system is sitting somewhere in here, and we'll be moving somewhere down into this region over the coming days. So certainly some upper ocean heat content to work with again. Really and truly, it's going to be seeing if any tropical waves can sort of make their way across here and make it over into here. If it can potentially do that, if any tropical waves can get into this region, really, I do believe that we will kind of see that green light tick on. Certainly with any Central American gyres that's set up with this kind of broad turning, anything in here is going to be certainly something to watch throughout the next coming days, and really for the next several weeks, in fact. Taking a look here at the latest European model, this is the 12Z run. You notice this is our tropical disturbance right in there. We'll actually highlight this with a better color. There's our weak innocuous tropical disturbance down there, and here was once a tropical disturbance, but is no longer any threat to develop at this time. So you can certainly see that we have this little area that we're trying to watch here. We also have some energy kind of bundling just off of Africa here, but also notice throughout the next 24 to 48 hours, not anything much, really not much actually happens with this over the next couple of hours and days. This really doesn't develop into much. It stays rather weak, has some strung out vorticity here, not really congealing across anything, and you really see there's no organization down here in the deep tropics. By really 72 and then 96, we have a little bit of concentration trying to form a little tiny wave right here. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens with that. I really haven't seen that in the previous models. Yeah, that actually wasn't even there in the past two models. So certainly something to watch there. Also got a weak innocuous little wave right here, maybe something to watch, but really not expecting much. And by 96 hours, this is our tropical, or our main tropical disturbance is right here near the southeastern portion of Mexico. Really nothing at this point in time other than a rainmaker. Again, heavy rain, still very problematic there. And you see certainly then by the 5 days, 120 hours, really nothing kind of kicking up here. Nothing in the main development region, and overall nothing as a whole. So it is largely quiet throughout the next coming days. Just to also kind of take a look at this. This is the sea surface temperatures out here in the main development region, the Atlantic, the MDR as we call it. Still plenty warm, rather to support tropical systems at this point in time, but for the most part, conditions across this area are becoming largely unfavorable at this time for any development, and really we're going to start to see development mainly at this point, like climatology says, will be kind of favoring this area of the world going forward. So really not going to be seeing much of any Cabo Verde systems throughout the next couple of weeks. For that matter, probably the Cape Verde season is over at this time. Put a big red X there and put a green circle around this area and a check mark, because this will be the area to watch over the coming weeks. Certainly climatology does favor this area for this time of month. So not really a whole lot to talk about here tonight. Not really a whole lot to keep an eye on. Again, right now just one tropical disturbance. It's been a long time since we've only been able to say one tropical disturbance, but only one right now that will be heading into the southern Bay of Campeche and southern Mexico this weekend, or this week and weekend, and into next week, bringing locally enhanced rainfall for portions of the Yucatan Peninsula in southern Mexico. So we'll keep on track here on everything, and I'll have a video discussion as needed. Hope you all have a great rest of your evening, and I will see you later.